What up and Happy New Year, baby! Wishing you an amazing year ahead full of prosperity and blessings. As you can see, we still got the Christmas tree up. Why? Because, Wepa, Boricua, Spanish. Actually, no, that's not why I still got the tree up. It's because I'm too lazy and I don't want to take it down right now. I'll probably take it down maybe, late Jan, early Feb. But I still like to have the Christmas spirit around the house. I put it up late, so I'll take it down late. Listen, little quick note here. This is the final episode before our 2-week mid-season break. So after this episode, we are going on break for 2 weeks. Do not fret though. We will still be uploading the videos on Tuesday or Friday, I should say. We will still be uploading the Friday videos each one of those weeks that we will not be uploading the podcast. So don't worry, baby. We are not abandoning you. Welcome to 2023. If you're here, if you're alive, if you're breathing, welcome. But before we really dig into 2023, let's talk about 2022 for a second. Everybody has seen that wild Waffle House clip, right? The big brawl that went down at Waffle House at the end of the year. If you haven't, here's a little edited clip.
Oh, you wildin', guys. Oh, you are wildin'. Oh, oh, y'all wildin'. Y'all wildin'. Oh, oh, yo, they still
What a show, what a brawl, what a beatdown. Let me tell you, the white girl was not backing down. She was not afraid and catching the chair. What an absolute, what a hero for that. Or what an action hero, I should say, for that. Because that was me. I probably would have ended up catching that right to the face. I could barely catch a football. So I could imagine, like a chair, I would have caught that bink right to the forehead. But I understand it going viral because it was such a wild scene, but this is really not a shock. If you are around my age, if you are in your 20s or your 30s, you know by now the reputation that Waffle House has. You know by now that if you go there, you are not only getting some waffles and some pancakes, you may get your ass beat, or you may watch somebody else get their ass beat, or you might beat some ass. You don't know what's going to happen. Waffle House has a history of brawls going down. Here's just for fun, let's show another clip of a Waffle House brawl.
Stop disrespecting.
I mean, how exciting, how wild is that? This is its reputation. I've never been to Waffle House. I would love to go, not just because of the beatdowns, but because I would love to try Waffle House in general. I love waffles. I love breakfast food. In my opinion, if you go to a diner, you really just get breakfast food. That's what I'm doing. Or a burger. I'll let you slide on that. But if you get anything else, it's like, why are you even there? Why are you even there? So I would love to go because Waffle House is basically like a ghetto hibachi grill. You go there, you get your food, but you also see a show. And the show is not going to be somebody squirting oil or squirting sake in your mouth. It's going to be somebody possibly getting their head busted open, getting their face split open, and you may be able to get a free meal because you just watch the show, you eat, and you go, all right, I'm out of here. While the police and the paramedics clean it up, you get the hell out of there and you skip out on the check, baby. But let me say this. Although Waffle House has a history of this is not my favorite place where beat downs are kind of that has a history of beat downs. Because my favorite has to be this one you may not know about, Chuck E. Cheese. That's right. Growing up in New York, especially in New York, you hear about the brawls going down at Chuck E. Cheese. I've only been to Chuck E. Cheese maybe once or twice in my life. I haven't bared witness to a straight brawl at one of my birthday parties or when I went to camp. But I mean, it happens. Like, I hear about it on the news. I've heard about it on the news many, many times. Here's a little clip of a brawl going down during a kid's birthday party.
How sweet. A Toy Story cake, a shy smile, all his little friends and family gathered round. Then bang, it all kicks off. Can you hear Happy Birthday in the background? Chuck E. Cheese has all the makings of a powder keg, and all it takes is one spark to make it explode. I'm Nick Watt for Nightline in Los Angeles.
I'll play a clip right now of some more ass beating going down at Chuck E. Cheese while I talk. But that's probably my favorite place because it's just so unexpected. You think kids are gonna go there for the tokens? They're gonna go play some skee ball, jump in the foam pit. But you got parents in there straight up beating ass, bringing out guns. I remember one of the videos I saw. The girl had a gun in her purse. I mean, she didn't take it out and air anybody out. But you're gonna walk into Chuck E. Cheese with a gun in your purse? I mean, that's fucking crazy to me. I don't know. I mean, leave that in the car. You can't be bringing that around a bunch of kids. I mean, in my mind, I wouldn't want to bring a gun up into Chuck E. Cheese. But I mean, maybe you got to. Maybe you got to with its history, with its checkered past. Because let me tell you, if you invite me to your kid's Chuck E. Cheese party, I'm not bringing a gun. But I'm probably gonna bring some mace, bring a blade, bring some brass knuckles, because I'm not gonna get caught slipping by the skee ball. If it's going down, we gotta go at it with another family. We gotta do what we gotta do. We're gonna be fighting over what, like the pizza? I mean, how do these fights even begin? Is what I'm thinking though. Like Waffle House, I can see. Because people are drunk. It's open 24 hours. I don't even know why the one that we saw just a minute ago happened. But generally, people are drunk. People are belligerent. People are probably harassing the staff. And the staff is like, you know what? I'm not going to take this. Bam. You get a coffee pot right over your dome. That one I could see. But Chuck E. Cheese, that's a crazy place to do it. Especially during a kid's birthday party. You got children there. It's like, let's keep it together, people. Let's keep it together. I've seen a video of a woman fighting in Chuck E. Cheese with her baby in her hand. What is with the fighting with the baby in the hand? I saw that the other day when I was looking down from my balcony. I was looking down. There was an uproar going on downstairs. A man was running around with a golf club trying to hit people. And next thing I know, I take a break from watching this. I go back out. I look back out. There was a massive crowd, and in that crowd is a woman with a baby getting in the middle of the melee. Leave the baby upstairs, leave it with grandma, and then you could go brawl. You could go handle what you got to do. But let's leave the kids out of this. Another place that I've been seeing fights go down is Disney. Okay, so much so that recently they had to make a statement like, "Hey, this is the happiest place on earth. Let's cut down on the fighting. Let's not do this here. This is a place where it's supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be fun." So they had to put a statement out to basically say, stop fighting, stop throwing down by Space Mountain, okay? But Disney, I can also see. And I can see it happening more at Disney than anywhere else probably. Especially Disney World, because it's in Florida. And it's hot as hell. So it's hot as hell. Let's say you're a parent, you're going with a kid. Let's say you're going with two kids. It's hot as hell. You're burning up. Not only are you burning up, but your wallet is burning up. Your credit card is burning up. You got to apply for a credit card while you're there to keep going, to pay for another hot dog for the kid, to get the Mickey ears, because the prices are so absurd. The prices are so ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. This has been going on, at least, especially in 2022, I was hearing a lot about the Disney price hikes. They're raising the prices. It's getting crazy. Bob Iger was raising prices, and so was the other Bob Chapek, Bob Paycheck. The Disney stock, actually, I just read, plummeted like 44%. But that's for another show. So it's hot. You're spending a bunch of bread, and now You got to wait in the line. Let's say you want to get on the Goofy coaster. That might take an hour. You're frustrated. You're not well fed. You're dehydrated. The kid wants an Elsa dress and it costs $4,000. You don't want to buy it for her, so she's crying. Little Johnny wants to get on this. I mean, it's mayhem going on in your family. Okay, so you're stressed. And then even if somebody looks at you wrong, you probably want to deck them. You probably want to beat their ass. Then somebody might do something disrespectful. So I could see how a Disney fight happens because you're in this state of panic and anxiety and depression. And then if somebody does something even mildly disrespectful, you're like, you know what? Boom, let's do it. Royal Rumble right in front of Mickey's Playhouse. It's going down. So I'm not justifying the fights at Disney. It's another place I also wouldn't want to fight. Just because I don't want to ruin the atmosphere. I don't want to kill the vibe. But I can totally see fights going down to Disney, and it doesn't surprise me at all. And then I think they serve alcohol at Epcot now, so now you got some people walking around a little drunk, and sometimes you got to beat some ass. It's gonna be like that, but it's crazy. Gritty knows best. Put out a statement right now. Stop the fighting at the children's areas. Stop fighting at Disney. Stop fighting at Chuck E. Cheese. It does give us a good laugh, but it's not appropriate. It's not the appropriate time. Take it to the parking lot or take it to Waffle House. Let's say you're at Disney and somebody steps on your shoe and say, you know what? Let's go to Waffle House. We're going to throw down right there. All right? Take it to Waffle House. It's getting ridiculous. Let's talk about Wednesday. Everybody has been talking about Wednesday, the show on Netflix. I think it is now the #1 show on Netflix. So congratulations to Jenny Ortega. I love her in everything I see her in. She's awesome. I think she's the new goth queen. I think she's the new, Yas queen person that we love. I think we all love Jenny Ortega now. I think it's like a stan thing. Good for her, right? So everybody's talking about Wednesday, or has talked about it. I'm a little late. So I finally sat down and watched it. Finally got to watch the big Wednesday show. So here's my very in-depth analysis of that show. I turn it on, and probably about 10 minutes later, the piranha thing happened. That was cute. Wednesday's pissed off. She got to go to Hogwarts, and they bring her into the school. She gets in her room. She sees her roommate, who I'm assuming is a werewolf or something. And I turn it off right there. I go, you know what? Not feeling it. About 10 minutes in, boop, turn it off, and I go watch something else. Now, this is what you're probably doing. You're probably booing me. You're probably throwing something at the screen right now. You want to come, I'm going to get death threats about this. I did turn off the Wednesday show pretty much immediately, 10 minutes in. It was funny. It was quirky. It was gothy. It was all the stuff that I would like. But here's why I turned it off. When I saw her walk into the room, this feeling came over me. This idea popped in my mind, and it said, do I really want to watch 8 hours of this, though? Do I really? Do I care about Wednesday going to Hogwarts that much where I need to watch this for 8 hours? Not that it's bad. I'm not saying the show is bad. Do not come and assault me. Do not send me death threats. Do not shoot me over this. I'm not saying the show is bad. All I'm saying is it's not good enough for me to watch for 8 hours. I'm sure it's phenomenal. I didn't get to the dance scene that everybody's going crazy about, the big dance that she did. I don't care. I really don't care that much. Now, if you told me there's a Wednesday movie where she goes to Hogwarts, it's an hour and a half, I'd say, you know what? I'm in. I'm watching. We're going to get the whole story arc. We're going to get the crescendo and the ending in an hour and a half, an hour 45. Maybe you can stretch it to 2. But 8 hours? Not for me. Not for your boy. Not for Griffey. But congratulations, Jenny Ortega. Her career is skyrocketing. And I'm glad that everybody enjoyed the show. I think it was a good concept for a show. And obviously it's a big hit. It's a big success. It's just not for your boy. We are not starting off 2023 the right way. As I'm recording this right now on January 2nd. And it has come to my attention that the great, legendary Gangsta Boo has passed away. At the age of 43, at the young age of 40 freaking 3. This is sad. It is a sad day, and it saddens me a lot to hear that news. I grew up listening to Gangsta Boo in the 3-6 Mafia. I grew up listening to her a lot. And the last time I saw her was at the 3-6 Mafia Bone Thugs and Harmony Versus show, which I went bananas for. That was amazing. It was such a good time to see. And the last memory I have of Gangsta Boo always cracks me up when they're gonna brawl or when they were fighting, and you hear Gangsta Boo when they're pulling everybody apart. You a hater, Bazy Bone! You a hater! You ain't take your pills! That was, and then you got Crunchy Black chiming in. They know they were losing. I mean, that was amazing. It sucks that they had a conflict, but just Gangsta Boo and Crunchy Black's commentary on that incident was so funny. It's so sad to hear that, man, especially at the age of 43. As of right now, we don't know exactly what happened. She was found on a porch. It's assumed it was an OD. I think that's pretty much what they're running with right now. Nothing has been, I think, confirmed concretely, if that's even a word. But it sucks, man. I listen to Gangsta Boo. I hear her voice almost once a day because I'm listening to 3-6 Mafia, or I'm listening to her absolutely kill it on Where It's Going Down by Twisted. If you never heard that song, it's an awesome song with Twisted and 3-6 Mafia. They just tear it up, and Gangsta Boo comes in. I took a Xanax. I like to split bitches' wigs, split them to the white, fucking kidnap your kids. What a great line. And she just absolutely murdered that song. And I never had any complaints about any verse she did. I know that she just did some work on that new Lotto song. Wish she had a verse on it. When I saw that she was featured on that new song, it's called FTU. Yeah, Fuck the Club Up, FTU. Great song, by the way. Never heard Lotto until then. I do like, what's the girl's name? Glorilla. I do like her. Didn't hear that Lotto song till the other night. Loved it. Good shit. Wish Gangsta Boo had a verse on it. That's what I was expecting. But man, I didn't know that she was also doing she did the marriage boot camp. I might have honestly watched some of that. I did watch some clips that are on YouTube after that. This is when I found out about it. So I didn't know that she was doing the reality TV circuit. It sucks, man. It sucks to hear. Rest in peace to Gangsta Boo. How many of 3-6 Mafia did we lose by now? We got Koopsta. We got Lord Infamous. We got Gangsta Boo. So I think it's only Crunchy Black, Juicy J, DJ Paul left. I think that's it, right? You got those three. Project Pat is technically not in 3-6 Mafia, I don't think. He's just on Hypnotized Minds. I don't think he's in 3-6. So I think we only got 3 left. Hopefully we get another album. Hopefully. I was going to wear my Hypnotized Minds shirt when I did this, but it shrunk in the wash. So I got to get a new one. And you know that we are getting the RIP Gangsta Boo shirt when that drops. If it drops, hopes it drops. Rest in peace to Gangsta Boo. Let's talk about 2022. Let's do a little rewind on the year. And we're not going to be talking about the year for the world. We're not going to talk about all the craziness, the Buffalo snowstorm, which, my heart goes out to everybody that has been affected by the Buffalo snowstorm. That's wild. People dying, people freezing to death. Absolutely horrific. We're not going to be talking about the Ukraine. That's not what we do on this show. We're going to be talking about my 2022 highlights. So let's get right into it. I really enjoyed going to visit my family, my mom and dad in North Carolina. That I got to do about at the tail end of the year, And that was awesome, especially because I got to bond with my dad more as an adult, as a young man. We shot guns, something I've always wanted to do. And the fact that I made my dad somewhat proud that day, which I think is the first time that's ever happened. Not that he's like mean or anything like that. I just think it's a reflection of me. I think that's the first time I've heard him say "good job," which is amazing. It made me feel awesome. So visiting my parents, seeing my mom, seeing my new dog Daisy was awesome. And I also took some trips to New York City, where I'm from, to see my other family, to see a bunch of people, Dre, Stephanie, Justin, Cemetery Girl, a bunch of amazing people, Laurel, Clay. I loved those 2 trips. I didn't even know if I would make one. It was like, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. Ended up taking 2 trips, and I don't regret it at all. Also saw AJ. It was a really fun time, and I really cherish those moments that I made in the city. Hopefully there will be a lot more trips taken down there, because I ain't trying to live down there right now. It's too crazy. Next up on my list, which I forgot this came out last year. It must have come out in the beginning of last year. But Camila Cabello's album, Familia, what a freaking banger. Wow. I mean, is it her best album? I don't know. I don't think she's had a bad album, in my opinion. I can't say that she's had a bad album. I don't know which one is the best. Probably her first one. I would say the first one, Camila, is the best album. But between the two, I don't know where this one lies. But what an amazing album! If you didn't hear Familia, album of the year for sure, absolutely hands down. Another piece of media that I really, really loved, another one that kind of came around the end of the year, was the Barney documentary on Peacock. I Love You, You Hate Me. We never got a chance to talk about that. Never got the opportunity to talk about it, but I will for a second here, and I will say I was a massive Barney fan. So to see this documentary was interesting because I did not know. I was not aware of all the hatred towards Barney in my youth. I wasn't aware of the Barney hate groups and the Barney, like these parties that kids would throw, that these college kids would throw, where they would destroy Barney toys and they would get people dressed up as Barney and they'd beat the shit out of them. I didn't even know that people were getting their heads kicked in just for dressing up as Barney. It wasn't like a thing that was happening all over the place, but it happened at least 2 or 3 times where people were assaulted wearing Barney outfits, and something I just wasn't aware of. So it was interesting to see that in my adulthood, to see that was happening while I was running around in my Barney shirt, opening my little Barney egg from that movie. Remember when the movie came out, the big Barney movie, and they had that little egg for that new character or whatever? This is some real OG Barney shit I'm talking about right now. But that documentary, that documentary was awesome. It got into the Barney hate, but it also got into how Barney, the inception of Barney, which really intrigued me and was my favorite part of the documentary. I'm very into stuff like that, about how businesses get built and how they came to be where they are. And to see that it was not what I thought it was, because I believed in my mind going into this that Barney was basically made in a boardroom. I thought like PBS was like, hey, we need a show. A guy with a cigar like, we need a show for the kids with a big, we need a dinosaur. And I just thought a bunch of people went to work, made the Barney outfit, hired a bunch of kids, and it was on and popping from there, and that's not what it was. It was basically built from the ground up by a mother in her living room. She had some connections to, I think, her husband. I think her father-in-law owned a TV studio, so she got help from him. But it was really a snowball thing. Like, other people got involved. They loved what she was doing, the tapes she was making, and it was really a homegrown thing, and that was so cool to see. And it was very sad to see the effects that eventually the success had on the family, on the father, on her husband, who ended up killing himself, and the son, who they say was maybe jealous of the attention that the business was getting from his mother. All things speculated in a documentary. I don't know if that's a fact. I don't know the kid. But I will say, what a documentary. You got to see where the Barney kids ended up, some of the paths that they took, and what the effect that Barney had on their life while they were doing it, and even the negative effect it may have had when they left and where they are today. I mean, one guy ended up getting shot, and now he was paralyzed, and now he could walk now. Steve, and then Steve from Blue's Clues was in there, and he stole the show. What an incredible documentary. I have not heard a bad word about it. If you haven't seen it, I Love You, You Hate Me on Peacock right now. 2-part documentary. Go check it out, baby. Also, what I really enjoyed this year, or last year, 2022, were all the guests that graced Gritty Knows Best. I have to say thank you and send my love to every single guest that we got for 2022. When I sat down and thought about it, like this year, it just felt like we did a lot this year. I didn't know that all of this happened in a year. Like when I look back on some of the moments, we're not even going to get into the moments and the memories that we made this year on the show. You can go back and listen to them. So many great things happened. But the guests, we had Ben come back, Ben the boss. I'm wearing one of his shirts right now, wearing my Candyman shirt from Fright Rags. Hopefully, let me not knock my tree over. There we go. Look at that. Come on. Go buy a shirt from Fright Rags. I'm wearing a Fright Rags hoodie right now. I can't turn it around because I'll probably choke myself out with the headphones and I'll die on camera. But I'm wearing a Fright Rags hoodie right now. So it was great. It's always a treat to see Ben and to have a conversation with him. I think we did 2 hours, like over 2 hours this time. We had Miss J. Miss J, shout out to Miss J, came in and killed it. Came in and murdered it. And not only did she come on the show once, she came on the show twice. And when she came on the show a second time, she brought her friend DWG, and they did a great job. Miss J, if you don't remember the Dom-Off, the epic Dom-Off between her and the Crow, you gotta check it out. Go check out what is that? What is the episode called? I know it's something with a MILF. Something MILF. Look it up. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Then we had our boy Zach. Man, did he kill it. If you didn't see the Zach episode, he didn't eat for 8 years. Go find out why Zach wasn't able to eat solid food for 8 years. He was running his own show, his own podcast for a while. He's doing great. My man, congratulations, because he's having a baby, bringing a child into the world. Very soon, too. I think the baby's ready to come out any month now, like the next couple months. So shout out to Zach. Can't wait to get him back on the show. That is going to be sick. But his episode was so much fun to do. Justin was on it. A lot of fun. We also had, at the tail end of the year, Electra Soul. Wow. That episode was so much fun to do. Like I said, I was watching her videos for a little while before she came on the show. I didn't know if she would even agree to come on, and I think she came on and she fucking murdered it, slaughtered it. Shout out to Electra Soul. What was funny though is the other day, I think it was yesterday, the day before, I went onto the YouTube studio and I saw that I had a comment, and it was on her video. Now, we've been getting great comments on that episode. Everybody glowing about how good Electra did on it. But there was a comment about my performance that I thought was great. Now, for some reason, the comment isn't there. I don't know if they deleted it. It was by somebody like named Angie111 or something like that. I don't know if they deleted it or if YouTube deleted it. Hopefully, YouTube didn't delete it because it was literally nothing disrespectful. They didn't curse. They didn't do anything disrespectful at all. But it was a critique about my performance. And Angela, whoever the person's name was like, yo, I know you're excited, but you are cutting this girl off and you're just talking over her. Can you stop? Like, she was like, I'm not saying this to be rude, but you are cutting Electra off. Let the girl speak. And I'm like, you know what? Let me tell you something, Angela. You're right. That's what I do. I was literally on the phone like 30 minutes ago. You know what I was doing? Cutting them off. That's what I do. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying that it should be happening. But you're right. And I am trying to work on cutting people off, especially on the podcast. I should not be doing that, but I get a little excited, or I just start, I'm like my mind is like a train, it just goes, and then my mouth just goes. Pause. So I do think though that if you were to go back, Angela, and listen to the prior 2 years of the show, you would see, I think that I've made improvements, because if you listen to the first couple episodes, people ain't getting a word in. I don't even know why I would have guests. I don't know why I'd answer the question for them. That's my favorite thing, is when I ask somebody a question, I literally answer for them. Like, oh, what's your favorite color? Blue? Like, bitch, ask the color. You don't need to answer for them. So, Angela, you're right. I'm trying to work on it, but I think I've made improvements, so I'm going to give myself a cheer for that. Hopefully next time Electra comes on, I can let her say a few things. Hopefully next time she's on, I'll let her get a word in. We also have my man Clay and my man EJ come on the show, who lifelong friends, brothers of mine. It was great to finally have him on. Been wanting to have him on for a long time. And boy, did EJ make some great moments with the One Chip Challenge. We just had Clay on the show the other day, his first episode one-on-one with me. He talked a lot about going to Anime Con on mushrooms and a lot of fun things. So thank you to everybody who graced us, who came on the show, graced us with their presence. We really, really appreciate you. We love you, and we cannot wait to see what we have, what guests we have on this year. All right, and talking about the show, another highlight for me was at the tail end of this year, the content we've been doing, the Friday videos, working on the taste test, just editing the videos. We've expanded the channel a little more. We've added extra content, and just working on that has been a lot of fun. Editing the One Chip Challenges, editing the taste test, working on the stuff with Justin and Mo and everybody. That has been a lot of fun. Also, at the end of the year, we took a trip to Saratoga, me, Pasty, and the Crow. We had a great time. We talked about it on Pastor's show. I think we talked about it on Pastor's show. I don't even remember at this point. But got some cigars, went and gambled, ate some great food. We had a great time. It was a highlight. It was definitely a highlight of the year, the Saratoga trip. Another highlight of my year. This was like at the beginning of the year, like in January. Like this time last year. You know what I was doing? You know what I was doing that time? I was not editing no fucking videos. What I was doing at the beginning of last year, for like 2 weeks straight, I watched the show Ray Donovan and ate peanut M&Ms and drank peach Snapple for like 2 weeks straight. I watched every episode of Ray Donovan, a great show, one of my favorite shows to ever exist. I have to do another binge on that show one day. Watched all 7 seasons plus the movie in like 2 weeks. It was a marathon. It was incredible. It was just me eating peanut M&Ms, watching people get beat up, stabbed, extorted, people getting taken care of, little deals and negotiations going down, blackmail. If you haven't seen Ray Donovan, I think it's on Amazon right now, and it's on Paramount Plus. Go watch it. Ray Donovan, awesome. That was like such a highlight. It was that was amazing. Just watching that show, getting enveloped in that show was so much fun. I might watch an episode after this. This was dumb, but it's a highlight. Okay, the fact that I discovered boxed stuffing this year. Miracle. And also, come on.
Now you know you're retarded.
How do you not know stuffing comes in a box? I've been to the supermarket more times than I can count. How did I not know that my favorite Thanksgiving thing, one of my favorite Thanksgiving dishes or sides, is readily available whenever I want, and that's pretty much how people make it. I thought my mom was over there cutting bread, cutting stale bread, throwing the stuff in there and making it from scratch. What a fool! What an idiot! I finally realized in 2022 that box stuffing was a thing, and now I'm eating it like I got cornbread box stuffing right in the cabinet. That's what I'm doing. What a fool! Highlight though, because now I'm on it. I love it. Stuffing is in the cupboard, baby. We're coming to a close here soon. We got like a few more. A big highlight this year was the 6-hour spectacular. If you have not seen the 6-hour spectacular that we threw last year, wow. It was so much fun. It was so much more well prepared and thought out than the year prior. And also, I got to give myself a little pat on the back here because I did that with either COVID or the flu. And I got that like the day of. So I was in hell, absolute hell before that show, during that show, and after that show. I wanted to die. So congrats to me. Props to me for making it through, pushing through. But man, was that a lot of fun. The 6-hour spectacular, go check it out. This year, I keep saying this year. Last year, 2022, I discovered my new favorite restaurant. Texas Roadhouse. The best. Great steak, great French fries, great peach tea. Wow. And the great bread, the sweet bread. Wow. Amazing. Texas Roadhouse. It's almost my birthday. We got to go to Texas Roadhouse for my birthday. 3 Kings Day, baby. Boricua, you know what I'm talking about? Wet bar. We got to go to Texas Roadhouse. It's awesome. I did see something funny the other day. I think it was yesterday. Some person tweeted out like, yo, I went to Texas Roadhouse and they charged me $4 for Kraft macaroni and cheese. And they showed that they were eating Kraft macaroni and cheese. And you're like, okay, that's weird. That's odd. That's kind of disrespectful to be serving people Kraft macaroni and cheese when they're under the illusion that you're serving them something homemade, I guess. Well, Texas Roadhouse swiftly tweeted out, and they were like, yeah, check this out. That is the mac and cheese from the kids menu, and it clearly says Kraft. And we give them Kraft because children love Kraft. But if you would like to be a big boy or a big girl or a big they them or a big zimzer, whatever you are, you can go on the menu and order the regular mac and cheese. Wow, what a fucking development. And I had to look, I'm like, are they lying? Like, how could that be? How could they, like, is this true? And I went and looked, and yeah, it literally says, I looked on TripAdvisor or whatever the hell, and it literally shows that on the Texas Roadhouse menu, it says Kraft. The Kraft logo next to the kids menu. So it's like, don't be trying to come at my favorite restaurant right now. Fuck is wrong with you? Get the hell out of here. Last, but certainly not least, we never talk wrestling on the show, but I'm going to have to break that just for tonight. Like I said earlier, everybody listening to the show is around my age or older, so you should know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is. And last year, after like 19 years out of the ring, out of actual in-ring competition, he's been there to stun people and smash the beers and say what and all that stuff, throw the finger up. He's been there over the last 20 years, but he hasn't been an official bell-to-bell match. And at WrestleMania last year, we got to see him throw down. We got to see him go against Kevin Owens, which is a treat for me because Kevin Owens may be my favorite wrestler, and maybe my number one on the list. So to see Stone Cold come down the ramp once again, like I did in my childhood, and then go against my favorite wrestler right now was amazing. And then you have this little side note that Kevin Owens' favorite wrestler and hero is Stone Cold Steve Austin. So the fact that Kevin Owens got to wrestle Stone Cold Steve Austin was sick. Just seeing him live out his dream was awesome. And then we all got to watch it. It was a great time. Stone Cold was in phenomenal shape. He was great. He even took a suplex to the concrete. Who do you know is going to do that in their 50s? Not many people, because they'd break their backs. How many people you know are going to do that in their 20s? Not me. I'm not doing that because I'll fuck my shit up, slip a disc, it'll be over. So watching Stone Cold come back was awesome. The glass break, the beers getting smashed. Perfection. So those are my highlights for 2022, baby. And now we are gonna kill the. Oh no, let's not do that yet. Let's talk about some of the horror movies that are to come in 2023. These are the list of horror movies that I am personally excited for this year. First of all, on my birthday, we got Megan, the movie with the robot doll. She's dancing, she's slaughtering people. This movie looks so much fun, and it may end up being the horror movie of the year. I would not be shocked. Yo, this movie looks epic. It reminds me of, I don't know if any of you have seen The Haunting Hour, but it's called R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour. If you haven't seen that show, it's a really, really good show. Even if you're an adult, it is like Goosebumps, but the volume is turned up to like a teenage level, but it's still creepy if you're an adult. They have a lot of good episodes, but one episode in particular, it reminds me of this. It was the episode, I think it's called The Real Me Doll, where this girl brings home a doll that is reminiscent of Megan, and all mayhem ensues. But Megan is like, this episode turned up another 100%. The doll looks awesome. I think it's a mixture of like robotics, CGI, and an actor. There's not much more I can say about this. I haven't seen it, but I can't wait to see it, and it's coming real soon, baby. Next up, not a lot of people are excited for this, I don't think, because when this came out, when the first one came out, I heard not many good things. The only good things I heard were from my mouth and my friend EJ's mouth because we watched it together. But I cannot wait for The Nun 2. This is going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I mean, I hope it's going to be great. I hope it's going to be awesome. I'm a big fan of the Conjuring universe, although I think the last Conjuring is probably the weakest link. Not saying it's bad, okay, because it was, I mean, the beginning was awesome. I think it was just a little long, in my opinion, the last Conjuring. I think it overstayed its welcome a little, like a little bit, but it was still sick. And it's the weakest one, though. I think it's ranked the weakest one. But The Nun did not get a great reception in my mind, in my memory, but it did for me. So I cannot wait for The Nun 2. What I'm a little upset about, though, going on a little tangent right now, is I was under the impression that we were going to get a Crooked Man movie. If you remember the Crooked Man from The Conjuring 2, I was really hoping we were going to get that one day. Don't know why that happened. I think maybe they were making The Nun and they just didn't want to do the Crooked Man. Maybe they didn't think it was going to get received well. Who knows? But I hope we get it. The Nun 2 is coming out apparently on September 8th. Now, dates are probably subject to change on almost every one of these that I'm going to read. So these are the dates that I found on Google as of today. September 8th for The Nun 2, January 6th for Megan. Next up, I think this one everybody is excited for, to see if it's going to be really, really bad or pretty good. I don't think anybody's expecting this to be really good. I think everybody's expecting this to be really bad or like so bad it's good. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I am not in the camp that think it's going to be really, really bad. I think I'm going to love it. I think the trailer looks awesome. I was a fan of Winnie the Pooh as a child. So you got Winnie the Pooh and I think Piglet going to be chopping people's heads off. Christopher Robin's going to have to pay for leaving them in the woods. Now they're all like feral. Now they got rabies or something like that. And they're going to be chopping up teenagers. That's my kind of movie, you know? My kind of movie. There's masks. I mean, it's not a mask as in it's a mask in the movie, but it's like, it looks like a mask basically. And people are getting chopped up. Attractive people are going to get killed. That's what you like to see. That's what I like. It should be coming out February 15th. It says like a one-day release. So like everybody's going to go like Black Friday one day. I will probably, if it's in my theater, I'll go that day. Can't wait to go. It's going to be sick. I think it's going to be awesome. I have a side note here. For the last year or two, I've been hearing this whisper that is getting louder about Mickey Mouse becoming public domain, which is why you're getting Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, because Winnie the Pooh is now public domain, which means anybody could use it. The copyright has expired. It's been around so long. Now, you're not going to get Mickey Mouse right now. Not the Mickey Mouse we all know and love right now, like the one on my cup here. You're going to get the Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie. So if you've ever seen that, I'm going to put a little thing on the screen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of Mickey Mouse we're going to get. The fact of the matter is we are getting Mickey Mouse in public domain. Apparently, Disney has done like their best to make sure that it hasn't been public domain. But word is that it's going to go down very soon, maybe this year, maybe next year. What I'm saying is you should gear up for some Mickey Mouse mayhem in the next coming years. Again, it's going to be black and white, but I think it's going to be cool. It probably will have like a bendy vibe. If you've ever seen the bendy video games, it'll probably have the bendy vibe. Mickey Mouse mayhem should be coming soon. Next up on the list, The Exorcist on October 13th. Now, I'm excited for this because it's a Blumhouse production, and we all know that I love me some Blumhouse. I'm a big fan of Happy Death Day. I also heard that there should be a Happy Death Day Freaky, is that what the movie's called? Freaky? Crossover, where it's Vince Vaughn and they switch bodies with the girl and the killer switches bodies with the girl. I think we're supposed to get a crossover of that, so I'm just, I'm coming to my pants about that. But to hear that Blumhouse is going to be taking on The Exorcist, I can't wait for that because I think the original Exorcist is a snore fest, like boring, except for the exorcism scenes, which I think are great, but everything else is like, I don't really care. Only problem is, it's the only problem, from what I understand, the person who was heading the Halloween trilogy, forgot his name, the person responsible for the Halloween trilogy that we just got, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and of course, Halloween Ends, the biggest atrocity in horror cinema, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, is heading this. So, and this is also supposed to be a trilogy, I hear. So that means history might repeat itself. We might get a great Exorcist 1, a great Exorcist 2, and then Exorcist 3. You're going to find out that it's like aliens or something. Like aliens are going to come out, or like mole people. There's going to be a whole new character at the end. They're going to totally switch it up. And it's going to be like, wait, what happened to the Exorcist girl? Oh, no, don't worry about that. This is movies about aliens now. Because that's what happened with Halloween. We were like, oh, where's Michael Myers? Oh, no, don't worry about it. We got to worry about Colby Covington right now. Don't worry about Michael Myers. He just got beat up. He got beat up in the cave. Don't worry about him. Oh, he comes back at the end and he gets killed, but it's about Corey now. So that's what I can imagine The Exorcist is going to be. I can imagine it's going to be like, wow, The Exorcist 1 was awesome. They really did a good job. Exorcist 2, this was pretty good. And then Exorcist 3, it's like, hey, where's the girl at? Oh, don't worry about that. They go to Area 51 in this one, and then the aliens come out, and then JFK. It's going to be a great movie. So that's going to probably suck. But we could probably look forward to at least one or two good Exorcist movies coming from Blumhouse. And I don't know who's going to be doing it. But October 13th is the date that I saw. Finally, and the movie coming out next on the list after Megan, on March 10th, we are getting Scream 6. And Scream in New York City, baby! It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I was not a major fan of Scream 5, honestly. Like, it was like, whatevs. The weakest link, in my opinion. Not horrible. I mean, compared to Halloween Ends, this may be the greatest movie I've ever seen compared to that. There was some great parts in it, like the kid getting killed, the sheriff's son getting killed, Dylan Minnette, I think his name is, getting killed. Awesome. Dewey's death. Some great parts, but I think it lacked in something. It was like some place was like, The killers were a little lackluster, especially the guy. I think the girl was pretty good. I like the female killer. But Scream 6 in New York City, and we're going to get Kirby back. Everybody's going crazy. People are going to show up in their Kirby t-shirts. People are they're going to be swinging the towels around. People are going to be popping confetti cannons. Fireworks in the movie theater. Somebody's going to get hit in the eye with a firework. There might be a brawl in the middle of it like it's Waffle House because Kirby's back. Everybody's going to be happy. Everybody's excited. I'm excited to see a horror movie in the city. And I like how they did the teaser trailer on the train with the boom, 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 boom. And let me tell you right now, riding the train for many, many, many years at this point. If I saw Ghostface on the train, it would not be the scariest thing I've seen on the train. It would literally not. I would just be like, wow, hey, like, whatever. Like, there have been more prolific killers on that train than Ghostface, to be honest. There's been people who have stabbed more people. I probably rode to work with people who have stabbed more people than Ghostface, in my opinion. What I want to know is, will Ghostface be on K2 in this movie? Will he go on 125th Street? Because if Ghostface is on K2, this is gonna be awesome because he's gonna feel invincible. He's not even gonna make sense. For those that don't know what K2 is, it is a very popular drug in New York City, a synthetic marijuana, and it makes people go absolutely bananas. And I would love if Ghostface was on K2 in this movie. Like, you would hear him, you'd be like, hello, and you'd be like, rah, rah, rah. It wouldn't even be like, what's your favorite scary movie? It would literally just be like, hello, burp, hello. I know, you know how he was texting in the last one? It'd be texting, it'll be all incoherent. Like, if it was like, you know, like drunk texting, it'd be like, and then he would literally just kill everybody because he would feel invincible, and then he would just pass out, and then he would pass out, and then they would take the mask off, and then it will be over because eventually you got to come down. So if Ghostface, what I'm saying is if Ghostface is on K2 in this, it would be amazing. If he's not, let's get a scene where he does K2 for the first time and he slaughters everybody on the 6th train. It'll be amazing. So those are the horror movies you can expect in 2023. There's also this other one, real quick, called like Trapped or something like that, and it's with the guy that played, it's Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin. And he's trapped inside of this apartment. He's trying to steal a piece of art. And then he gets trapped in there with like no food and nothing and no water. And I think he just slowly goes insane and dies. I'm looking forward to seeing it. What I think might happen is I think I'm going to like it for like half an hour. And then I'm going to go, this could be a good episode of a TV show. Like if this was a Twilight Zone, I'd like this. But I don't know if I can watch this for an hour and a half. I don't really want to watch this man descend into madness for an hour and a half. 45 minutes may be my limit. But we'll see how it goes. Get ready for the Horror Movies 2023, baby. Now let's bring down the mood a little bit. We're gonna bring it down. This is not gonna be a good segment, so prepare yourselves because we're gonna bring it back to 2022 real quick and talk about the people who have passed away. We have to give love. We have to pay our respects to some people who lost their lives. Now, this is not everybody who died in 2022, but this is the people that affected us, the people that we listed this year. So it's not going to be everybody. First up, we got Justin's dog, Blue. Blue was a member of the family. I saw Blue many, many times on FaceTime. He crashed his head into the garage. I loved in the mornings when Justin would be sipping his coffee. We'd be talking about something. And next thing you know, blah, 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 and then Justin, hey, my coffee! Some of my favorite moments. I love that. Blue did not like me, though. I came over one day. I gave him a bunch of sausages. He ate them, and then he said, now I want to eat you. You're an asshole. I don't like you. Don't know why he didn't like me. Oh, because Justin never exposed him to any other human beings. That's why I forgot. Yeah. He was like a cave. He was like one of those children you'd find where they were like, oh, we found this child, and he's been in a basement for like 20 years, and he doesn't know what humans are. That's what Blue was. He just knew Justin. He only liked Justin. So rest in peace to Blue, man. Rest in peace to Blue. We love you. Next up is an artist named Lil Bo Weep. I believe she was up and coming. Like, she had a long career ahead of her. She wasn't, I think, that popular yet, but me and Justin knew about her. We listened to a few of her songs, and it was very sad to see her die. I think she was only like 23. I believe she OD'd. I don't have anything in front of me. I don't know anything about her age or how she died, but I believe she OD'd. And it's very sad because, like I said, she had a whole career ahead of her. She had a blossoming career. She had a fan base. And I think she had more success ahead of her. So it sucked to see her go at such a young age. Rest in peace to Lil Bo Weep. Also, rest in peace to our friend Black Mamba. Me and Justin met her when we used to do Instagram lives a lot, and we kept in touch with her on Instagram a lot, and it really sucked to see her pass away. Rest in peace to Black Mamba. She was funny. She was a great person. R.I.P. Next up, we got Bob Saget. I forgot how this even happened. Like, I think he bumped his head, but they don't know why he bumped his head. Apparently, he was doing fine. Somebody had seen him at a comedy club beforehand. The next thing you know, the guy drops dead, and it's really sad to see. I wasn't a Full House kid. I'm going to be honest, and I can't say, oh, my God, I remember Bob Saget. I mean, I remember Bob Saget from Full House, but I didn't grow up on Danny Tanner. I grew up on people shooting each other and mayhem and people getting slaughtered and people having sex, stuff like that. I didn't grow up on Full House, okay? I didn't grow up on any of these shows. I didn't grow up on I didn't grow up on Urkel and none of that shit. What I remember is Bob Saget being a dirty comedian and him talking to Gilbert Gottfried, him doing podcasts, him doing Stern. That's where I knew him from, and that's where I loved him from. Rest in peace to Bob Saget. Great comedian. I was just listening to him talk to Gilbert Gottfried on his show the other day, and it was just sad. It was just sad because he seemed like a really good guy. Speaking of Gilbert Gottfried, one of the biggest losses of 2022 was Gilbert Gottfried. Man, do I love listening to Gilbert Gottfried on Howard Stern, on other people's show. Such a legend, man. Such a legend. Gilbert Gottfried, the voice of the parrot in Aladdin, the voice of the Aflac duck, the voice of many toasters and forks and other things, the voice of the bird in Cyber Chase, from what I hear. I never watched that show because it's a show about math. And if you know one thing, I ain't watched no show about math. Rest in peace to Gilbert Gottfried, man. That one really fucked me up this year, seeing Gilbert go. Another legend that we lost, Scott Hall, another person I grew up watching in the NWO. You know, hey yo, baby. I just saw him. I was watching a WrestleMania today, and I saw him doing a backstage segment, and it really made me sad because he seemed like a really cool guy. He was awesome. Rest in peace to Scott Hall. Rest in peace to the bad guy. Rest in peace to a New York legend, DJ K. Slay, with the mixtapes. That one sucked to hear. New York guy. Rest in peace to DJ K. Slay. Used to listen to him in my high school days. I used to hear his drops. It sucks, man. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace out there. We played some of his clips, some of his funny ass clips on the 6-hour special. I never really understood the backlash Kevin Samuels got. He did critique women, but what he did critique, he critiqued women who would call up and basically say all these shallow things they want in a man. They would call up, from what I remember, and they would be like, listen, I want a guy who's 6'4", he makes X amount a year, and he's a big high-profile guy. And Kevin Samuels would come back and he would say, well, you are X, you are Y, you are Z, and that's not what a high-value man or the man you're looking for would generally want, and people would be pissed about it. And it's like, you know what? I think Kevin Samuels was a lot of the guy that these women would want, and he would know what he would want. He would know what guys, and he frequented a lot of places. He was in connection. He was connected with a lot of the guys that these women were looking for. I'm not a red pill guy. I don't do the whole high value man shit. I don't do any of that stuff. But Kevin Samuels seemed like a guy out of any of the guys in that realm that I could look at and go, you know what? I can agree with a lot of what he's saying. He's not saying anything that I can imagine being too off-colored. He would tell people to just get their shit together. And it wasn't like it was women calling and saying, hey, I'm looking for a good guy. I'm looking for a marriage. I'm looking for a funny guy. I'm looking for all these good qualities in men. It was just like a lot of shallow shit, and he was being shallow right back. So it's like, what are you upset about? I don't remember him saying anything that offended me, that was too crazy. I think he was a good guy from what I remembered, and I really enjoyed watching him. Sometimes he was an entertaining guy, and he would tell a lot of guys to get their shit together. It wasn't like KS would be degrading women and then putting every man on this pedestal as we played the clip of a guy talking about all the stuff he wants in a woman and how, and he was like, well, your X, your Y, your Z, he's like, you don't even got a big dick and you don't make any money. You got a big dick and you want like an Instagram model. That's not what that girl is probably looking for. So the backlash that he got, I don't understand. The backlash that a lot of the other red pill community gets, that I could see, that I don't give a shit about. I really don't care about those people. But Kevin Samuels, I think, was a good guy, and rest in peace to him, man. Coolio, rest in peace to Coolio. Been living most of life, living in the gangsta paradise. Another cool guy. I remember him being cool with the ICP, with Insane Clown Posse. And something funny I remember happening was like when I was in high school, I remember Coolio getting a tattoo that said Juggalo on it, but they spelled Juggalo wrong. And he was so hyped that he got it, and he just didn't know that it said Juggalo wrong. And it was so fucking funny. But it was the thought that counted, man. Coolio, he was a cool guy from what I understand. I really didn't listen to him that much. I really didn't know much about him. But every time I saw him, he seemed like a good guy, man. Coolio, rest in peace to Coolio. This next one really got me. This one made me spin my head around like The Exorcist and almost vomit. I was so sad about this one. Rest in peace to Aaron Carter. Wow, this one was a blow to me because I grew up on Aaron Carter. I always want to be the flyest kid on the block. I mean, that song was fucking fire, bro. Aaron's Party? Are you crazy? Aaron's Party was the fucking jam, and I would listen to that all the time. Every year, I would play Aaron's Party for like a week straight, and then I'd forget about it for another year. But Aaron... And then not even just Aaron's Party. He did the I Want Candy for the Lizzie McGuire show. He did the Jimmy Neutron soundtrack. Aaron Carter had that heat. He was dropping bangers. And I know that he had his struggles in life, that he had his struggles with addiction. Last I heard about his death is assumed it's an OD as well. And it really sucks because he was young. I think he was like 35. So he had he was still making music. And when I checked his Spotify, he was doing decent numbers. He was doing shows, and people would make fun of him, and they would show him doing concerts in front of not a lot of people. And it's like, you know what? The guy was out there doing his thing. And I would totally have loved to go to an Aaron Carter show. And I regret not going. I think I had the chance one time in high school, and I just didn't go. And I regret it now. Totally regret. I would have loved to go. Aaron Carter was the man. And he was taken too soon. He had a child who I don't even think is a year old yet. And it's like, wow. Son Prince. Sucks, man. Rest in peace to Aaron Carter. That one really sucked for me. That was right up there with Gilbert Gottfried. Another pill that was hard to swallow last year at the end of the year, right before Christmas, right before Thanksgiving, was our friend Wilfredo. This one really sucked because Wilfredo was a guy who I haven't spoken to in many years. And now that he has passed away, I regretted it. I regretted not reaching out to him. It's just how life worked out. It's just that he was not really in the friend group anymore after a while. And you just don't expect it. I didn't know anything was wrong. I heard he was sick at the end. And I just didn't know that. If I knew he was sick, I probably would have done something. I didn't even have his number. It would have been a little tricky for me to even find him because I don't even know if any of my friends had his number. So the only way I know I could have probably gotten in touch with him was I could have talked to somebody who had a PlayStation and got to him. That's the only way I knew to even get a hold of him. But now I really kick myself for not giving him at least one call because let me tell you, Wilfredo was a funny fucking guy. And he was a big part of my high school years. I remember a lot of times talking to him in the middle of the night on Xbox and seeing him in school. And he was so funny because he would just do him. He didn't give a fuck. And I used to yell at him about things, and it makes me, I do regret some of it, not all of it. Because I would try to make him like live like I lived, I would try to skew him to live a little more of a normal life. Not that I'm living any normal life. But I'm not crying. I got a stuffy nose. All right, I'm not crying. I promise. I'm not crying. I would tell you if I was crying. I'll tell you when I cry. Yeah, like that. Like hear that voice. It sucks though because he lived by the beat. He marched to the beat of his own drum. He did nothing in school, worse than me. I mean, the kid did nothing in school, and it was so fun because he was like in my tribe. Like we literally did nothing, but he did even less than me. I remember we would go to these meetings where we'd get paid to be there, and he would just be meditating in the corner, not giving a fuck about what anybody thought, never giving a fuck about the speaker. We were getting paid to be there, he'd just be meditating in the corner, not caring about nothing. And I also remember his name getting called all the time in school. They'd be like, Wilfredo, please come to the office. Wilfredo, can you please come to the office? Wilfredo, can you please come to the office? And I know that he was having sex every time. That was the joke, that he was having sex in the school. And I would always be like, I don't want to put my hand on this chair because I know you probably had sex here. And we would both laugh. We'd both laugh. And I remember one time I was walking up the stairs and I heard, Wilfredo, can you please come to the main office? And I had said out loud to my friend next to me, I said, I know where he's at. I know what he's doing. And the assistant principal came out of nowhere like Michael Myers. She was like, I don't know, out of the fucking shadows. She was like, where is he, Thomas? Where is he? You know? I was like, I was just fucking around. I was just kidding around. I have no idea where he is. I totally had an idea. I ain't no snitch though, Wolf. I ain't no snitch. But this sucks, man. It really sucks to see him go. I wish I would have reached out to him more. Rest in peace, Wilfredo. And, shout out to his family. I sound like, what's his name? That DJ. Shout out to his family. Yeah, but much love to his family for real. I think he had a sister, his mom. Sucks, man. We're coming to the end here. We got the last two. Takeoff from the Migos. I saw that group pretty much come to prominence in front of my eyes. They had I remember when Bad and Bougie came out and blew up the fucking world. And in my opinion, Takeoff was like the best rapper out of there. He murdered it on T-shirt and I wasn't a big Migos fan. I'm not going to sit here and say I even listened to a whole album. But I can tell you that if you told me, when you said Takeoff, I always thought best rapper in the group. And he got shot. Got shot like in a bowling alley. Very young. Another one with a long life ahead and more success ahead. Rest in peace to Takeoff. And last on the list is Don West. Don West, we're going to talk wrestling again real quick. For those of you that don't know, he was a wrestling commentator, and this dude used to kill it. I don't know why he never went into working with the WWE. I would have loved to hear him do a couple WrestleManias. This dude was on point all the fucking time. This dude would make a moment, an already awesome moment, 10 times more awesome, just with his voice. And that's Don West screaming his fucking brains out. I loved hearing Don West commentate a match, and it sucks. I think he was struggling with some health issues. He was only in his 50s. Some of these people on this list, man, it's sad to see, were not that old, man. Still had a good chunk of life ahead of him. Gangsta Boo, Don West, a lot of these young kids. So rest in peace to everybody on this list. It sucks. Like I said, we had more people die in the year, but we're not going to go through everybody. These are the people that really affected us. Rest in peace to everybody. And that is it for this episode, man. Like I said, we are going off for 2 weeks. We will still be uploading videos every Friday, our new videos, and we'll be putting clips up from last year's shows. We'll be putting them up on the channel. We just dropped our Kit Kat compilation. So if you're a big fan of Taste Test, you can go on and check out our Kit Kat compilation where we show us eating all the Kit Kats we've eaten over, I think, just at least the last year and a half. So you can check that out. We got more coming. That is it. I hope you have an amazing year ahead. Blessings, prosperity, abundance, love, all that good stuff for you. Until next time, peace and love. See you on the second half of the season, baby.